This is the floor of the Boston and Maine boxcar, steel-sided boxcar. It's all shiny black plastic. So what I want to do is to weather this, but first I need to stress it, or distress it, depending upon what you want to call it. Make it look like it's been used. I have our piece of coarse sandpaper here, a little piece cut off out of that big one. And this is the before. Let's see if we can scratch it up without breaking it. Be nice to put something under there so I don't cut it in half or bend it in half. But hey, where the doors are, there's some scratches in there as if there. Scratches in there because that's where you're going to push stuff, the direction you're going to push stuff. Not that most of this will be seen, probably won't, but with the doors open, only some of it will be visible. There we go. Did I miss a spot here? Looks like I could use some more here. And the sandpaper I'm using is 50 grit, really coarse. Oh, there you can see it. I think that's probably good enough. The next step is to paint it. I looked at some prototype boxcar floors and they all are kind of a light tan. So that's the color we're going to use to paint it. So let's get to work on the painting. Now for the first cut, I'm going to try using the dark color called Pavement and the color called Khaki. Apple Barrel or just regular old acrylic craft paint. And about in the ratio of 1 Pavement to 2 or 3 Khaki. Still might be too dark, but we'll see when I do a little test section here. And that's diluted with this with Rain-X Automotive Glass Cleaner that doesn't have ammonia in it, and it's perfectly clear. That's going to be my wetting agent as usual. So let's see if we can paint this puppy. Okay, we're going to try this on a section that doesn't, oh, that's too dry. A section that doesn't matter. I'll put some more of this stuff in there. Can't mix it up with one hand, so we'll use 2 hands. This wasn't so tedious, it would be fun. Alright, I know how to do it. Okay, I'll just put some see. Exposure down a little bit so you can see it a little better. You know, that doesn't look half bad. Straighten this out a little bit. Don't get carried away there, Dave. I have a tendency to see when something is pretty good. I think, well, maybe if I just do some more here, I can make it even better. And it ends up being not better. So I have to resist the urge to fix it when it ain't broken. You know what they say, the perfect is the enemy of the good. So if it's good, leave it alone. You're not gonna get it perfect, and you're just gonna screw up the good. So yeah, do as I say, don't do as I do. Alright, so we'll let that dry and see how it looks after it's dry. Well, this is taking way too long. So I've added some more of this pavement color and the khaki to it. And it's a lot thicker. So we're gonna try this. What I figure is, if I need to distress the surface more, I can do so after the paint has dried. I see little bits of dried paint here. Normally that wouldn't be acceptable, but this thing is supposedly beat up wood, so chips and pieces of junk on the floor would not be unusual from the, and in fact the prototype that I looked at, that's the case. There's big divots out of the floor hanging around. We'll turn this around and do this end. Made myself a fingerprint. Cool. Well, I applied a thicker coating of paint to this deck and made some variations in the boards. And I think that's as far as I'm going to go with this. It's just going to be inside the shell of the Boxcar anyway, so it probably is sufficient to at least convey the idea. Now the flat car that I did before is visible for its entire length, and thus I had to be more careful about doing the paint. I painted each individual board, but this is probably alright, even though the distressing part didn't really show up that well. The last time the car was assembled, I noticed that there wasn't very much differentiation in these boards. So while I had the paint out doing the little door bracket, I figured I'd color in some of these boards so that they didn't look all the same and they didn't look all too light. Also, the ends here that you could see from outside the car were all the same, and that didn't look very prototypical. So anyway, I did that. It should look a lot better when I get it back together. But we shall see, I guess.
Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.